I think it's very important to take a long view at what's going on here. And I'll be able to dig up some emails that make part of the Affordable Care Act that doesn't look good, especially from people who've made up their mind that they don't want it to work because they don't like the president. Maybe he's of the wrong color, something of that sort. I've seen a lot of that, and I know a lot of that to be true. It's not something you're meant to talk about in public, but it's something I'm talking about in public because that is very true.
Oh, there they go again. The Democrat Senator Rockefeller crying racism if you don't like Obamacare. So a majority of Americans must be racist because they don't like Obamacare. In fact, anybody who disagrees with Obama must be racist, and anybody who's going to disagree with Hillary Clinton is going to be a sexist, and anybody who dare criticize radical Islam, of course, is an Islamophobe, and if you don't like gay marriage, you're a homophobe, and they got a label for you on the left no matter what you do. And joining us now, joining Francesca Page and I, is Dean Obeidallah, Daily Beast columnist, and hey, Dean, you and I have been having a Twitter war.
I don't call it a war, a discussion in 140 characters or less. That's what we've been doing. Which is a tough way to have a
fair enough. Say hello to Francesca.
I'm not at war with you, yes.
Hello, Francesca. I'm glad he has someone with him because he needs someone else to back him up when we're talking. So thank goodness.
All right. So there you have the race. You just wrote a whole piece at how we stop the next Boko Haram. And, you know, you go through the whole piece and I mean, your insinuation, aside from Boko Haram, I mean, is that we're a racist country, cops operate with impunity and a sense of entitlement, and blah, blah, blah.
That's not my article.
Isn't it?
Is that my article?
How we stop the next Boko Haram? Am I not reading? Did I read too far?
No.
Anyway.
How to stop the next Boko Haram? Yeah, I wrote that, but the country's not a race. I don't say anything about
I don't know. Maybe they hooked me up with
media, and I talk about Muslims. I talk about Muslims in the media and how.
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, all right. So
in helping combat Boko Harams and the rise of these groups, because we do play a role together, and there's a synergy from us together. And I think, as I go forth in my article, if you want to discuss that, why I think it's important. But no, I don't. There are labels.
All right, then I got something here with your title on it, and I thought it was kind of long. This is kind of like a 5-page, 6-page piece.
Maybe there's another article connected to it. Maybe because I do have.
Maybe, but I don't think so because it's.
But that's different.
You know. Anyway. Let's get back to the issue at hand.
Sure.
You refuse to admit that Islamic terrorism is Islamic terrorism. You've been in Abu Dhabi, wherever the heck you go, and you make jokes about terrorism as a comedian. I mean, there's nothing funny about terrorism. There's nothing funny about, as Bill Maher says, the only religion that'll cut your head off if you convert, that'll cut your head off if you don't convert, that'll blow you up if you write a cartoon about their prophet is Islam. Not Judaism, not Buddhism, not Christianity. In this day and age, today, 2014, the threat of that is from Islam. Not all Islam, but the ones who will do it will tell you they are Islamists.
They will tell you they're doing, in their view of what Islam is, they are motivated by that. And I agree with that. And that's a big part of my article, that the conversation we have to have about preventing the next Boko Haram is with Muslims involved. And I'm Muslim. And the idea that we collectively, as Muslims, have to recognize that these people doing these acts are Muslim. We can't say they're not Muslim. They are. They might not have a perverse sense of what that means or what they should be doing, but they are Muslim. So we can play a role in denouncing their actions to get that message to our fellow Muslims that don't support these groups, don't join these groups. What they're doing is not just wrong, it's literally un-Islamic. It's literally, as the Imam I quoted in my article, blasphemous to say that what they're doing. For Muslims to understand that it's blasphemous for these Muslims to claim what they're doing is in the name of Allah, or the name of the religion. And Allah is just God. I mean, I use God all the time. For some reason, I love when the media, they translate something a terrorist says from Arabic to English, but they leave Allah in Arabic. That's God. Just call it God. But in any event, that's my point. Muslims can and should play a role in this. And I sort of had an evolution on this issue, not an epiphany, but an evolution over time that we can play a role in denouncing it so that non-Muslims in America and around the world understand we have nothing to do with these people. They're horrible, despicable murderers. And second, we have to get the message out to our fellow Muslims that they're horrible, despicable people and don't follow their lead and don't support them even emotionally or psychologically. Do not support them. So I agree what you just said up front. And it's not Islam, it's Muslims. Islam's a religion. It's Muslims carrying out the acts. As we know, and that there are some, and they definitely believe they're Muslim, and that they're doing this thing with Islam.
Dean, just to interject, I'm new to this debate that you guys have been having, but I have one question for you. I did read your article. And I know that you don't just blame the Muslims for not speaking out. You also seem to believe that the poverty of Nigeria, particularly Boko Haram, had something to do with the terrorist acts of Boko Haram. Now, New York isn't a third world country, so how would you as a Muslim justify the lack of response to, for example, 9/11 on a Muslim level? Are American Muslims afraid to speak up? Is this where this is going?
No, not at all. The Muslims, in my article, I say Muslims have to denounce terrorism more. To be frank, I'm going to be honest, Muslims have been denouncing terrorism for years. I wrote for CNN last year. I was on CNN. Other Muslim leaders have been on. There has been a press conference 2 weeks ago. Every major American Muslim group denounced Boko Haram. Not just denounced, but made it clear these people don't represent Islam. The problem is we live in a world where the media is a business. We all know this. We understand. Crazy acts lead with something that's about murder will get the press. How many stories are people going to do about the average Muslim living their life or denouncing terrorism? We do get covered.
But there's a problem, Dean. There's a problem, Dean. This is not just some crazy people doing crazy acts. These are groups after group after group after group around the world, and they all have the same philosophy based on the same readings from the Quran that they quote, which is, of course, the book of Islam, that they interpret to give them permission to kill innocents, to destroy, to cut off heads, to threaten, to burn, to rape, to pillage, and they're the only ones doing it, the only religion doing it.
Are you familiar with the Lord's Resistance Army, which was in Nigeria, which goal was to impose the Bible, the 10 Commandments of the Bible, and to turn Nigeria into some kind of biblical state? And they kidnapped, that was Coney, and it kidnapped thousands of children, killed, slaughtered, turned them into sex slaves, turned them into soldiers. I mean, the idea that only Muslims are committing acts of terror is ridiculous.
It is only Muslims, Dean, and you see, here you go again, running away from the issue, running away from the issue. What's that?
What about the IRA? You had the IRA in Northern Ireland, that they were a Catholic organization.
I was dead set against the IRA, but wait a minute. The IRA, and I despise Jerry Adams. I've had fight after fight with Peter King about Jerry Adams over many years. I don't like Jerry. I think he's a terrorist like Yasser Arafat was. But they didn't kill in the name of Jesus Christ. They didn't kill people who converted from their religion. They didn't quote the Bible. They were fighting over, wait a minute, they were fighting over land and control, which I don't condone, but it's not religion-based.
Well, I think this is where we have the disagreement. I think many of the terrorists who use the name of Islam have a political agenda. Their idea, like in Nigeria, Boko Haram's goal, as they stated it, is to unseat the elected government in Nigeria and impose their own state, which they say will be an Islamic state, even though what they're doing, like saying women can't be educated, is nothing to do with Islam. So they have a vision of what they want, and they use Islam.
Women can't be educated has nothing to do with Islam? What about Sharia law? Does that have anything to do with Islam?
Which one? I'm sorry? I didn't hear
Sharia law, which is what they base it on, women not having any part for education.
Sharia law is different in every Muslim country.
It's repressive. It's repressive wherever it is. It denigrates women. It puts them in a subservient role at best wherever it is. Some places it's more severe. Other places it's less severe. You can't be defending Sharia law, and you said it's not part of Islam. It is part of Islam.
Sharia law, I didn't say that. Sharia law is the idea of taking what's in the Quran and turning it into law to govern your state, whatever nation you're in.
Like chopping off your hands if you steal, and making sure women stay in the home and can't show themselves, can't drive, can't do anything. If they're raped and report it, they have to have 7 witnesses or they get killed. That kind of stuff.
Well, you're pointing out as the most extreme examples, and that is true. There's certain places in Afghanistan where you're going to have that. That's true. The Taliban, that's their vision. Of course, don't forget the people like the Taliban who they're slaughtering are
But that vision is their interpretation of Sharia law, which is from Islam. Don't you see it? Of course you see it.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Is that Sharia law is based on Islam? But here's the biggest point. I want everyone who's watching to understand. When we talk about Sharia law, it's not like we have one document. It's not like the U.S. Constitution. We go, well, here's what the U.S. Constitution says. Here's our rights and privileges and what you have to do and what you can't do. Sharia law is not like that. These are people reading the Constitution going, well, we're going to impose a law now based on this. Like, there's nothing in the Quran that says kill gay people. That's absolutely not in the Quran. But people have turned it into law because they don't, the way that it's negatively spoken about gays. They go, well, the gay people are not spoken of positively.
But
in
who?
the Quran.
Who's the
So we're gonna turn
only
it into law and kill them.
religion?
So that's what I'm saying.
But
It's
where?
an
But
interpretation.
Dean. But again, it's the only religion today. Not all of them, but the only people blowing up people, killing gays, stoning women, is people who believe in one another form of Islam. I gotta go, Dean. We'll continue this. You know we will. I'll have you back.
All right,
Hopefully
thanks.
in studio next time. Dean
Take care.
Obeidallah, thank you very much. Obeidallah. See, twice I messed it up. And Francesca Page, it has been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Great
very
seeing
much.
you. And I'm sure we'll
Thanks.
see you again.
Thanks,
We're
Dean.
coming back, folks.